What's up, guys? Flaming Geek here. Justice League! Justice League. Should you go see Justice League? And one short answer, yes. Go see Justice League. Okay, I think I'm done. But in all seriousness, go see Justice League. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of DC or any of the DC characters, go see this movie. This movie is funny. It's not always so dark in terms of the color scale. They kind of get a certain character right, which made me really happy. Justice League is one of the most amazing comic book concepts. I love the Justice League. DC is gods becoming human. I love each character in the DC universe. It's my favorite comics because I love the villains, I love the heroes. I find DC comics and even the DC animated films, they do a really good job giving the villains a pathos, same with giving the heroes a pathos and a concept. They feel very rounded. A lot of the characters in DC comics, they're not becoming a hero because of some sort of horrific accident. There are a few who have gone through that, like the Flash, like Cyborg, but a lot of times it's the person coming into the character, becoming this hero, and learning how to deal with the power that is given to them. And I absolutely love that about the Justice League. It is one of the greatest concepts ever. I grew up watching the Super Friends reruns as a kid on Cartoon Network, and I loved it. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice, stuff like that. I love Batman, I love Superman, I love Wonder Woman. There's something about the Justice League that every kid can relate to, every adult can relate to. So, needless to say, I was excited to see the Justice League film come to life. Never would I have thought in my entire life, especially when I'm in my early 20s, that I would see comic book movies become a fad. And I never thought that. So to all the kids who beat me up in elementary school, junior high, and high school, joke's on you. Being a nerd, being a geek is awesome. I went into this movie with zero expectations. I only saw the Comic-Con trailer for Justice League and the very first official trailer for Justice League. I didn't see anything else. I didn't follow any of the promotions going on. I ignored all of it because, you know what, I have a tendency to build up very high expectations of films, and then when I go see them, kind of let down. So for this film, I wanted to go in with nothing. No preconceived conceptions or anything. I went in just to have a good time and see this film. And you know what? This film is good. You can clearly see a tone shift in it. There's jokes in it. There's jokes, guys, in a DC movie. What? You can clearly see when Joss Whedon became involved. You can tell which scenes he helped write because they're a lot more humorous. It kind of reminded me some of the dialogue of Firefly and Buffy. So I was really happy about that. And you can tell which scenes were shot by Zack Snyder because it's very dark. But I feel like this film really did need to have somebody else come in and get involved with it. Which is unfortunate, but in a good way, it was great because this universe desperately needed another input. It was missing some ingredient, and people have been comparing the DCEU to Marvel, which is something that I think is very unfortunate because I like to think of them as two separate universes. Yes, they're comic book films, but they're both run by two different companies. They're both different mythos, different characters, a different universe. And the reason people are comparing DC and Marvel is because Marvel was building its universe first, and Warner Brothers and DC have been playing catch up poorly, which is part of the reason why these films have been suffering. But I think I think this is going to be a good direction for the films. Let's talk about the characters. Ezra Miller nailed Flash, and I can't wait to see a standalone Flash movie. That's how good he is. He understands the quips of Barry. He understands the essence of Barry. He felt and he was the Flash, which was amazing for me. So for those of you who are friends of the Flash CW series and who were upset at the recasting of Flash, don't be. Ezra Miller does his own thing and he shines at it. Wonder Woman, coming off of the success of Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot really is the core and the leader of this film. Wonder Woman brings such a gravitas and presence whenever she's on the screen with any of the other characters. It was refreshing and it was great to see her there. Batman, for me, I felt like there was something missing with Batman, actually. There were a lot of moments where I was really wishing that Batman had had his solo film before this film was released. I loved Batfleck in Batman v Superman, but in this one, you can tell there was a lot more going on with his character, so I hope in his solo films they will delve into that Batman's history and background. He doesn't really have a huge epic combat scene like the warehouse scene in Batman v Superman, which I think was a missed opportunity, but that still makes me want to see more of him in his solo film, which I hope Ben Affleck doesn't leave the character. I really like Batfleck. I was one of the people who was very skeptical about this actor being cast in Batman, and he proved me wrong in Batman v Superman. Yes, he's a Batman who kills people. He's a dark Batman, but he is definitely the Batman from Frank Miller's Batman Dark Knight Rises comic book series. And I like that this Batman is more grisly. I like that he's old, he's a veteran, he's been fighting for years in Gotham. We've had so many Batman origin films that it's great to see this different take on Batman, and I'm eager to see Ben Affleck do a solo film with him. Superman, well, Superman's dead, so wah wah, I'll leave it at that. Cyborg, I liked Cyborg in this film. The only thing that I have to say is there were so many moments where he's purely there to interact with technology. That's his role, which, yes, Cyborg does do that, but I love the Cyborg from the comics. I love the Cyborg from the Justice League animated cartoon series. I want to see in the next film, I want to see Cyborg going hand to hand, doing combat, showing off everything that is Cyborg. He hasn't been Cyborg for very long, so he's slowly adapting into the character, so I cannot wait to see this character develop more. But they nailed it with the casting for him, and I can't wait to see more of this Cyborg. Aquaman. Aquaman is great. Jason Momoa, just hands-on Aquaman. And it's a different Aquaman take. I wasn't sure what he was going to be like. In this Aquaman, they definitely left you wanting more from Aquaman. You want to see him interact in his universe in Atlantis with Mera more, because there is some felt tension there, which you see in this film, and it just makes you be like, what else is there? Tell me! So I can't wait to see a standalone Aquaman film. I'm excited. I love Aquaman from the DC Comics. I loved it when they went and rebooted the character in early 2000s. And made him more gritty, made him dark, and I love the Aquaman who is missing his arm. That's one of my favorites because I think he is such a badass, and Jason Momoa brought that to the screen. This is a badass Aquaman, and it was great to see him interact with all the characters together on the screen. One thing this film is lacking is, I think, the necessary chemistry of all members together on the screen. But this is the first Justice League film. They're all new. Like, Bruce and Diana had to recruit everyone else into creating the Justice League. So the next Justice League film, I'm eager to see how that dynamic has changed. And I think this leaves a lot of leeway for good things to happen in the DCU. Go see this film, guys. I really enjoyed it. I went and I had a good experience seeing this film. It was fun, it was refreshing, and you know what, as a child who loved the Justice League are my heroes to me. This movie was everything I wanted, and when I left the theater, I wanted more. And I cannot begin to tell you how much this movie meant to me. Go see Justice League. Do it! Just do it! Oh, do it! In the words of Shia LaBeouf, go see this film, do it. Let me know in the comments below if you have seen Justice League. What did you think of the film? Are you going to go see Justice League? What are your hopes? What are your expectations? Please let me know in the comments down below. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. And also, guys, let me know if I should do a spoiler review of this movie, because I would love to, but I won't do it if there isn't enough interest for it. So let me know down in the comments below. And as always, guys, thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and as always, live long and prosper.